In today's episode, we're going to look at Canadian biofuel out of Springford, Ontario. Specifically, we're going to be talking to Ian Moncrief and Roberta Dunlop, two entrepreneurs who have started a pellet company based currently on wood, but eventually we're going to have more and more agricultural product in it, things like switchgrass, things like miscanthus. But who would have guessed? Springford, Ontario, exporting to Italy. Essentially, all the production here is going to Italy. But again, thinking globally from product that we produce from small town Ontario.
Canadian Biofuel produces biomass fuel pellets. And in our business plan, long-term business plan, we will be using agricultural energy crops and agricultural residue as our feedstock. But in order to get to that point, we have to establish the supply chain and develop markets. So we have started by using recycled wood and making wood pellets, which is the predominant feedstock for fuel pellets in the world. 90% of our production is exported to Italy. And the reason for that is that Italy is depending very heavily on wood pellets because they do not have access to natural gas, so they have to depend on propane and fuel oil. And pellets are about half the cost of those conventional fossil fuels. Currently, we're exporting pellets to Cagliari on Sardinia, Genoa in northern Italy, Livorno in Tuscany, and Salerno in southern Italy next to Naples. All of the contracts are minimum volumes so that if we have a spare container load around, they'll buy it. That's not a problem. Our problem is getting production. And we are looking at working with or even acquiring another small pellet manufacturer. And if that goes well, then we'll be able to increase our production by a third again and be able to service these people in Italy.
To the right is where our pellets are made. The new building under construction is a new natural gas genset where we will be producing our own power. The pellets are produced by the pellet mill, come out through the screening plant, up the first leg, and are distributed to the gray overhead bulk delivery tanks or to the large silver storage tank to our bagging plant where we bag them for export and domestic markets. The bagging unit is located in the blue building, and we can produce 8 to 12 bags per minute stacked on skids and shrink wrapped and either held for domestic delivery by truck or into 27-ton, 40-foot shipping containers to ship to Italy. Well, that's a ribbon mixer that feeds it through a magnetic belt which takes out the tramp metal, and then it discharges to an auger that goes up to the hammer mill. To the right of the main megadome building is our hammer mill, which takes our feedstock and grinds it into quarter-inch minus sawdust, which is then vacuumed by the cyclone and then feeds the walking floor trailer inside. This is processed feedstock that's gone through the hammer mill and is now being conveyed through the walking floor trailer to the pellet mills. These are the screenings from our screening plant, taking out the fines from the finished pellets, and they're simply augered right back in here to our feedstock, and we use them again, putting it into our feedstock stream, so we never lose anything. This is the feedstock that's being fed into the pellet mill. The pellets are discharged from the pellet mill. It goes into a counterflow cooler, which cools the pellets down and also takes out fines. Then it's discharged into a screen, a rotating screen that takes out more fines, and then up the leg over to here to the bagging plant.
In addition to Italy, we've had numerous inquiries from Greece, Spain, Portugal, Slovenia, Ireland, the UK, and Holland, etc., looking for more pellets.
Unfortunately, we can't produce enough, but we're looking to expand our production both here in Ontario, and we've been also invited to build a large plant in Newfoundland to service these European markets. The markets in Europe are expanding exponentially. Last year, they sold 15 million tons of pellets. It's expected by 2015 that will go to 20 million tons of pellets, and by 2020, over 30 million tons of pellets. And we hope to be able to take advantage of this by using purpose-grown crops right here in Ontario to create this new expanding industry in agriculture to produce biomass fuel pellets.